I'm curious to know, how do you guys feel then about your future? Because David, you mentioned that that was a big issue for you before, is making decisions about your future. And it is a very stressful time, and there's a lot of unknowns for people. How are you guys feeling about that now?
So I mentioned this earlier, but I was struggling to choose between two different university programs. I was trying to decide between like engineering or physics, and that was a tough choice because ever since I was a kid, physics has always been my passion. But engineering, it was related. Like I still got to get some of that physics, but it wasn't exactly necessarily what I wanted particularly, right? But it was a difficult choice to make because engineering is a very well-defined career path. Like you can study engineering and you go and you can become an engineer, right?
Sure.
Obviously you can do other things, but that's generally how it goes. Whereas physics is a much more bit of a wild card, I guess. It's not clearly as defined. And so that was a difficult decision to make, obviously, but I ended up choosing physics just because I thought about it for a while and I realized that, again, this has always been my passion and I should explore my passion. But in addition to that, it's not, a less defined path isn't necessarily the worst path.
Right, for sure.
In that I realized that like what's more important than getting a specific degree leading towards a specific career is developing the necessary skills in order to transition yourself into any career you want, or in any, not like, I'm focusing on careers a lot, but in any aspects of life. And that it teaches you lots of, basically just how to solve problems. And I realized that much more important than, the most important thing is just being able to have applicable skills that you can use in any environment. And I found that physics allowed me to hit both of those.
Yeah, and it's going to be different for everyone, right? Some people would prefer engineering and you prefer physics, and it's just so important to make that decision to understand yourself well enough and have the decision-making skills well enough to pick the thing that's the best fit for you. So how do you feel about your future going forward now? How do you feel like this is maybe preparing you for an unknown future?
I'm very excited. I think that after I made my decision, there was obviously lots of times where I doubted my decision, which is, I suppose, natural anytime you make a decision. Yeah. But after a while, like, the doubt would only last for maximum a day before I realized, like, okay, I know I'm making the right choice. And I think what really helped me solidify, like, helped me know that I was making the right choice is thinking, like, what if I chose the other way, right? If I feel like I'm making the wrong choice, why don't I just go and switch? Right? And then as soon as I thought, why don't I go and switch, I realized, no, I do not want to switch. And that helped me sort of solidify. And overall, I think I'm very excited to start my course in the fall, and it's getting, the excitement's building more and more as we approach the beginning of the semester. And I'm happy to, excited to get started.
Excellent. And what about past that? I mean, do you think about kind of that next step past university, how this might be helping you in that respect?
Yeah, it helped me kind of, I think this program also helped me open my horizons a bit more, as opposed to there just being a single path for you to follow. I realized that initially my path after physics, like undergrad, was just grad school and then hopefully continue on with that. But I realized that with the skills that you develop and the things you learn, it's okay to branch off into other things. And it's not necessarily wrong. Like, you're not, by switching out of your path, it doesn't necessarily mean you failed. It just means you changed your mind, right? And so it's okay to start in physics and end up in finance, for example. It doesn't mean you failed at physics. It means you just had a change in direction, right?
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.